Do you know the corporation tax rate you are really paying? The UK government made the answer to that question a whole lot more complicated in 2023, and their website does a terrible job explaining the calculations. I'm going to explain how corporation tax is calculated, when marginal relief is applied, and how to calculate it. I'll show you our Google Sheets calculator so that you can test your specific scenarios, and I'll talk to you about why you need to be careful and how you can avoid paying an unexpected 26.5% on extra profits. Before 2023, all companies paid 19%. Simple. This rate remains for businesses with profits of less than £50,000 in the year. But for those with profits over £250,000, the rate increased to 25%. And that's 25% of all profits, not 19% on the first 50k and 25% for profits over. What about those earning between 50k and 250k? Well, then we've got something called marginal relief. Marginal relief provides a sliding scale of corporation tax for profits between 50k and 250k, although it's more like a marginal mess because instead of a smooth transition, businesses in this range suddenly end up paying an unexpected 26.5% on extra profits. Let's walk through how to calculate corporation tax. If your profits are less than 50k, corporation tax is 19%. Marginal relief does not apply. For profits more than 250k, corporation tax is 25%. Marginal relief does not apply. If your profit is between 50k and 250k, that's when we get into the marginal mess. To calculate it, we need to know our corporation tax if you pay 25%, that's the upper threshold, how far you are from the 250k, and the marginal relief fraction. Your final tax paid will be your tax rate at the upper threshold minus the marginal relief. The marginal relief being how far you are from the threshold multiplied by that fraction. Let's go through step by step. First of all, what would your corporation tax be if you paid the 25%? This is your profit times 25% corporation tax and has the catchy name of corporation tax liability before marginal relief. Number 2, how far are you below the 250k? This is 250k minus your profit. Now let's look at the marginal relief fraction. The marginal relief fraction, which is 3 over 200 or 1.5%. That's the same figure. I prefer to use 1.5%. 3 over 200 just seems to be unnecessary confusion from HMRC. Or maybe they're just trying to hide the fact that the effective tax rate is 1.5% more than the 25% advertised. We'll get into that. But first, let's finish our calculation. Marginal relief is how far we are from the 250k multiplied by the fraction. That's number 2 multiplied by number 3. Total corporation tax due is your liability before the relief minus the relief. So number 1 minus 2 times 3. It's also interesting that they're comparing your tax rate to the 25% rather than the 19% that you would be paying at the lower threshold. You can see the calculations in our Google Sheet here. Over on the right, you can plug in a different figure in the profit column to instantly see the corporation tax due for you. We have the corporation tax before the marginal relief. That's our profit multiplied by 25%. We then need to know how far we are from the upper threshold. So that's 250k minus the profit. Next is the marginal relief fraction, and your marginal relief is how far you are from the 250k multiplied by the 1.5% fraction. The corporation tax due will then be the amount before relief minus the relief. What is interesting though is how much extra tax we are paying at the different profit amounts. Over on the left, we have different profit amounts here. Then apply our calculation when we are between 50k and 250k. Here's our calculation. Tax at 25% minus marginal relief. Then in the middle, we calculate the effective tax rate. Scroll over to here and we've charted this up. you can see a sharp increase at just over 50k. That's where marginal mess kicks in. Let's look at how the tax increases at different profit levels. I've already got the calcs in here, but let me show you. We are looking at the additional tax paid at every £10,000 increase in profit. Below £50,000, for every extra 10k in profit, you pay £1,900 more. That's 19%. Between 50k and 250k, though, for every extra £10,000 you make, you now pay an extra £2,650 more in tax. That's 26.5% tax on additional profit. Why? Because the marginal relief fraction, that 1.5%, is effectively a extra tax to try and get you to that 25% quicker. The overall tax rate is still less than 25%, but as this is applied to the full profit, it has a disproportional impact on additional earnings. So what's your takeout from this? If your income is between 50k and 250k, you may want to reduce your profit, especially if you are close to that 50k profit figure. Here are some legitimate ways to reduce taxable profit and avoid the worst of the marginal mess. If you have upcoming costs, equipment, software, marketing, bringing them forward to this tax year could lower your profits. You might be able to spread large expenses over multiple years to keep profits stable and avoid steep jumps. Company contributions to pensions are tax deductible. If you are planning to invest in your future, this could save you tax now. And if you're a business owner paying yourself a salary, a well-timed bonus could reduce your company's profits. Certain assets also qualify for full tax deductions in the year of purchase. This could bring down your taxable profit under the threshold. R&D tax credits or charity donations are other potential options. Download our Google Sheets calculator to see how much tax you will owe at different profit amounts and make informed decisions for your business. See in the description how to download. And if you're a contractor and want to know how much you really take home and how you can maximise this, watch this video here. There's also a calculator on the government's website. It's got additional complications by splitting things by the accounting period. This is mainly because the rules changed in 2023. Assuming we're doing our books for 2024 or later, we can ignore this. If you have distributions or associated companies, you may need to use the government one, as ours simplifies these out of the calculations. I'm a contractor that wanted to understand this better and struggled with the government website and other online sources. Making this video's given me clarity. Hopefully it's helped you too. If it has, please share to other potentially confused or unaware small business owners, or potentially even accountancy students. Thanks for listening. Buzz you next time.